So as you can probably tell by the title, this video is going to tell you how to use OBS Studio to present live online. So if you've got a program that has a screen sharing capability or simply has a camera input, you can present live with a bit more than just your face or just a PowerPoint. To get started, you need to download OBS Studio. Link's going to be in the description. You've got some guides here. You shouldn't need any of this if I do a good job of explaining to you how to use this. Obviously, if you're going to use this to stream on Twitch or record your screen, you're going to need to look at some resources. Here's some good ones. There's also good YouTube videos. If the program you're going to be presenting in does not support screen sharing, you should download this as well. So you just go to this link, it'll be in the description as well. Just go to download and wait for that to download as well. So now what you want to do is open OBS-Studio-version number. What you want to do now is go through the installation process, select where you want to install it. I recommend the default directory. If you've got screen sharing capabilities in your program of choice, you can leave this ticked and press finish. If you need to use the virtual camera, which is the second download, untick that and press finish. Open up your other file you download and install that as well. You want to select the directory the same as your OBS Studio. It's going to give you a warning, but that's fine. Won't break anything. Select what you want here and press install. So now we open OBS Studio. We don't need that right now, but you can run it again from the tools menu. First things first, we want to go to the settings. We want to go to video. We want to set the base canvas resolution to the same as your screen, which will probably be this, so I'll be using this for demonstration purposes, even though that's not my screen. You want to set the output to the same, just leave that frames per second on 30, unless you've got pretty good connection. Hit apply, you can see you've got a scene here. First of all, we'll rename this camera, because we'll be using the scene as solely the camera. Now what we will want to do now is go to the sources, make a new source. There's a bunch here, but what we want right now is the video capture device. We want to select the camera we're going to use. So, as you can see, this doesn't fit perfectly on the canvas. You can obviously expand it like this and move it around, or you can also set it to custom here, set it to the same resolution as the canvas. This will give you video that perfectly fits on your screen, like so. So now we've got the camera all set up. So now what we're going to do is we're going to create a new scene, name it whatever the hell you want. So now what we're going to do in this new scene is we're going to add a source here, set it as scene, and we're going to set it to the camera scene. The reason we do this instead of adding another video capture device is because adding another video capture device would slow down your computer. Not a good idea, especially if your computer is not that great. Now we've got our camera here. What we can do is resize this into the corner here. Now we can add a window capture. You can rename this to PowerPoint or whatever window you want to capture. This obviously isn't necessary if you don't have a PowerPoint you need to capture or other window. We want to open PowerPoint. Now we've got PowerPoint open here. What we can do is we can select this, select the window, PowerPoint.exe, press OK. Now we've got this, and unfortunately it's overlaying over the top of our web camera. So what we can do here, you can see it's at the top of the sources. So we want to move that down. So now we've got this. Once you open the PowerPoint here, right, you need to go into Reading View to get this to work properly. It doesn't really fit perfectly, does it? What we can do to fix this issue is we can go color source and just add a white color source. Set this to 100 by 100, just a square. Move it over here. See if it's not reaching down. We right click on the color source and we set the height, changing it until looks about right. Now, it doesn't matter that it's going off the screen, your viewers will not see that. Good idea to move this down in case something goes up behind it, and that way you can have it down here without cutting off. So we've got our PowerPoint scene, and we can go through the PowerPoint, and this here is what your viewers will see. Looks pretty good. So what else you can do with OBS Studio, right, is you can go make a new scene, you can add your camera obviously again, but you can also add a browser, which basically just loads a web page. So if you've got a web page that automatically updates your subscriber count or something, you can load it up in here and just have it here. This probably is not going to be useful to you, but it's good to know about. So what else you can do is the color source, obviously. You can do display capture, which is window capture, like we did with PowerPoint, except for your whole display. Pretty self-explanatory. You can add an image, so we will do that now. Pretty simple, you just select your image. Right, we have our image selected, so we have this image here now. So now we can move this around, place it wherever we want. Now we can also add image slideshow. That's probably not going to be as useful as just doing everything manually, but handy to know about. Media source, you can add a video that plays just like the image in here. You can add text, you can just write something up the top, like so, and here we've got the VLC video source. That's basically the media source except VLC video. I'm pretty sure that's a format, I'm not 100% sure though, and that's all you really need to know about. One thing to note, however, is this audio here will not go through to whoever you're presenting, only the video portion of this will go through. So if you need audio from your desktop, if it's Screenshare, your audio should be going through anyway. If you're using the virtual camera, I might make a video on how to do that properly. Right, so now we've got three scenes. We've got the basic camera, scene 2 and scene 3. So as you can see, we can switch between them by clicking on them, which is very good because we can switch between scenes in the middle of presentation. But what's even better is we can assign hotkeys to these. So if we go File, Settings, Hotkeys, and you have your scenes here. You've got your camera scene, scene 2, scene 3, or whatever you name them, obviously. There's a switch to scene hotkey, and you can set that to whatever you want. Now, you've got your hotkeys to change between scenes, but you can see that you can hide and show specific elements of the scene as well, which can be useful. So if we go to scene 3, and we go to our text, and we set this to 4 and 5, we've got all of these hotkeys. We can change between the three scenes using our 1, 2, 3 keys, and on scene 3, if we hit 5, this text here disappears. Now this is what the viewers will see. Now you've got some trial scene set up, you can mess around with this later. What you want to do now is you want to go and get it all set up for your presentation. So what you can do here is you can right click and you can select the preview here. Right, you can select the preview and you can select full screen projector, preview, select your screen. I've got two screens here, but just select whatever screen you want, preferably the one that has the same resolution as your canvas, and it goes full screen. Now we Alt-Tab out of here and we go to wherever we are going to present. I'm going to start a meeting in this test channel I've made. I'm in the meeting, I can just screen share it now, and all I need to select, right, is full screen projector preview. And that is now being screen shared, and anything I do here, using the hotkeys or whatever I'm using. Right, that was a small hiccup, I don't know what happened there, but OBS Studio just decided to crash. That's the first time that's happened to me. We're good now. We can go and pop out the preview again. What we can do now is we can go and screen share that, and this is exactly what the viewers of your presentation will see. So you can switch between this with hotkeys and everything, right? So for example, if I have this PowerPoint open over the top, I just have it open here, right? They can only see that specific window that's behind the PowerPoint, so they can't see this at all. So this is what it looks like to them. So we now just go into reading mode. This is how it looks. We can left click here to go to the next page. If we want to switch off the PowerPoint, we can switch using hotkeys, and we can disable this text right here using hotkeys as well. So that's a pretty versatile tool for presenting right there. So you know how to use OBS Studio to present live using Screenshare. Now, if you've got the virtual camera and you can't screen share, it's a pretty simple solution as well there. So what we can do is we can go to this preview here, press escape to close it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to tools. We're going to press virtual camera. We're going to press the start button. Nothing needs to be changed. If we go to Teams, for example, when we turn the camera on and we select the camera, nothing happens. It's a black screen. So what you want to do is unplug your camera and plug it back in. Now that you've done that, you should see 4 new cameras appear, the OBS cameras. If this doesn't happen, just restart your computer. So you want to select the camera it's output into, which for us is OBS camera. Now obviously this is frozen because we just unplugged everything. What you can do is close OBS Studio and open it back up again. Now, what we've got here is we've got the OBS Studio, and this is going to take an input from here. But because we've restarted OBS Studio, we need to go into Virtual Cam again and just press Start again. Now you can see that everything in here works as well. Now it looks pretty bad quality, which is why you should use the screen share option if you have the option. Now you may see that it's mirrored here, and you may see this horizontal flip option and want to do that. Don't hit that, because usually the program shows to you your camera image mirrored but sends out a non-mirrored image, and that won't fix anything. It'll just break everything. Everything will be backwards. You want to stop this, you just press virtual camera and you press stop. Other than that, that should be everything you need to know. Press like if you liked the video, press dislike if you disliked the video, subscribe if you want to. Also, if you want the video on how to get a desktop audio input in your presentation when you're using the virtual camera, just leave it in the comments below. And thanks for watching.